Imagine going to bed tonight the way you have done thousands of times before. The lights are off, the room is quiet, and within minutes you fall asleep believing your body is finally resting. But for a surprising number of adults over the age of 50, the night is when the body becomes most vulnerable. There is no dramatic warning, no obvious signal. In many cases, the person never wakes up again. Every year, hundreds of thousands of adults suffer heart attacks or strokes while they are asleep. What makes this especially unsettling is that these events are often not caused by rare diseases or pure genetic fate. In many cases, the real cause is something far more ordinary: nightly habits that quietly place stress on the heart and brain. During this conversation, I want to explain why sleep can sometimes become a dangerous moment for the cardiovascular system after the age of 50. More importantly, I will walk you through several nighttime habits that increase this risk and the simple changes that can protect your health starting tonight. My name is Dr. William Collins, and for decades I have studied cardiovascular health in older adults. One of the most misunderstood facts about sleep is that it is supposed to be a time of protection for the body. When sleep functions properly, the heart slows down, blood pressure gently drops, and the nervous system shifts into repair mode. The brain even begins clearing waste products that accumulate during the day. But when certain behaviors disrupt this natural nighttime recovery process, the body never truly enters that protective state. Instead of resting, the cardiovascular system remains under stress. One of the most common habits that interferes with this process is eating heavy meals late in the evening. Many people think of dinner as a harmless routine, even if it happens at 9 or 10 at night. But after the age of 50, large meals late in the evening force the body to remain metabolically active at a time when it should be slowing down. Digestion requires a significant increase in blood flow to the stomach and intestines. To provide that blood flow, the heart must pump harder. Blood pressure that should normally decline during sleep may remain elevated. Metabolism speeds up when the body should be preparing for rest. In simple terms, the heart is asked to work overtime during the exact hours it should be recovering. Large long-term studies have confirmed this pattern. People who consistently eat late dinners show a higher rate of nighttime cardiovascular events compared to those who eat earlier. But the story becomes even clearer when you see what this looks like in real life. Several years ago, I treated a woman who was 68 years old. She had followed the same routine for decades. She worked long hours, returned home late, and her largest meal of the day always happened close to 10 at night. It was her moment to relax. She would eat a heavy dinner, watch television for a while, and then go straight to bed. She never considered it dangerous. In fact, she believed she was doing nothing unusual. Over time, however, her body was being placed under nightly strain. Each late meal forced her heart to pump harder to support digestion. Her blood pressure never dropped properly during sleep. Acid reflux frequently occurred when she lay down, irritating nerves that influence heart rhythm. For years, her heart handled the stress, until one night it could not. She went to bed as usual after a large, late dinner. During the night, her heart experienced a sudden event. The cardiovascular strain that had been building for years finally overwhelmed her system, and she suffered a heart attack while asleep. Stories like this are not rare. They are reminders that habits repeated every night can quietly shape cardiovascular risk over time. The good news is that correcting this habit often produces immediate benefits. Eating earlier in the evening and choosing lighter meals allows digestion to finish before sleep begins. When that happens, the heart rate can slow properly, blood pressure can fall as it should, and the body can enter its natural nighttime recovery mode. Another habit that increases nighttime risk involves medications. For people who take medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood clotting, timing and consistency are extremely important. Blood pressure normally follows a daily rhythm. In healthy individuals, it drops during sleep, giving the cardiovascular system a chance to rest. However, in many adults over 50, this drop does not happen. In some cases, blood pressure may even rise at night. This condition is known as nocturnal hypertension, and it significantly increases the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Research has shown that properly timed medication can dramatically reduce these risks, but when medications are skipped or taken irregularly, blood pressure spikes can occur silently during sleep. Those spikes can rupture fatty plaques inside the arteries. When a plaque ruptures, a clot can form and travel to the heart or brain. Because this occurs during sleep, the event often happens without warning. I once treated a patient who admitted he frequently forgot his nighttime blood pressure medication. It seemed like a small detail to him. Missing a dose here and there did not feel important. Unfortunately, over time, those missed doses allowed repeated nighttime spikes in blood pressure. One night, he suffered a severe stroke while asleep. He survived, but with permanent paralysis. Situations like this show how critical medication consistency can be. The third nighttime danger is one that remains widely underdiagnosed: sleep apnea. Sleep apnea causes repeated pauses in breathing during sleep. These pauses can last 10, 20, or even 30 seconds. Each time breathing stops, oxygen levels in the blood fall. The body reacts immediately. The heart speeds up. Blood pressure rises sharply. Stress hormones surge through the bloodstream. This cycle can repeat dozens or even hundreds of times during a single night. Many people never realize it is happening. Studies from major universities show that untreated sleep apnea dramatically increases cardiovascular risk, including a much higher likelihood of nighttime heart attacks and strokes. Common warning signs include loud chronic snoring, waking up suddenly gasping for air, morning headaches, extreme daytime fatigue, or blood pressure that remains difficult to control. One patient I treated thought her snoring was simply an annoyance to her family. During testing, we discovered that her oxygen levels were dropping dangerously low throughout the night. Each drop was triggering powerful stress responses in her cardiovascular system. Once she began proper treatment, the change was remarkable. Her sleep improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and the strain on her heart was significantly reduced. Nighttime should be the safest time for the body. But when certain habits interfere with the body's natural protective rhythms, sleep can quietly become one of the most vulnerable periods of the day. The encouraging reality is that once people understand these risks, many of them can be corrected with relatively simple changes in their nightly routine. Now let us continue with another habit that many people adopt with good intentions, believing it helps them sleep better. In reality, it can quietly increase the risk of serious cardiovascular events during the night. That habit is going to bed dehydrated. After the age of 50, the body's sense of thirst naturally becomes weaker. Many older adults simply do not feel thirsty as often as they did when they were younger. At the same time, many people intentionally reduce their evening water intake because they want to avoid waking up during the night to use the bathroom. On the surface, this seems practical and even sensible, but physiologically, it can create a dangerous situation for the cardiovascular system. Even while you sleep, your body continues to lose fluids. Water is lost through breathing and through small amounts of perspiration throughout the night. If you already go to bed dehydrated, your circulatory system enters the night at a disadvantage. Inside the body, dehydration changes the physical properties of blood. When fluid levels drop, the blood becomes more concentrated and thicker. Thick blood moves more slowly through the blood vessels. Slower circulation makes it easier for clots to form. Now combine this with the natural changes that occur during sleep. Your heart rate slows and blood pressure decreases as the body enters its restorative state. If the blood is already thick and circulation slows even further, the flow of oxygen and nutrients to critical organs such as the heart and brain may become dangerously reduced. This combination is one of the reasons dehydration has been associated with a higher risk of ischemic strokes and nighttime heart attacks. A study published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Disease found that even moderate dehydration significantly increased the likelihood of cardiovascular events during the night. I once treated a 70-year-old man who was very proud of what he believed was a healthy discipline. He told me he had trained himself never to drink water after dinner. His reasoning was simple. He wanted uninterrupted sleep and did not want to wake up to use the bathroom. For years, he followed this rule strictly. One morning, his family found that he had suffered a stroke during the night. Imaging later showed a clot blocking one of the arteries supplying his brain. When we examined his blood chemistry, it was unusually concentrated. His dehydration had likely contributed to the formation of that clot. The solution to this risk is fortunately simple. Drinking a glass of water 1 or 2 hours before bedtime helps maintain proper blood fluidity during sleep. Using the bathroom just before lying down reduces the chance of nighttime awakenings. Keeping a small glass of water at the bedside also allows for small sips if you wake up feeling thirsty. Such a small habit can help maintain smoother circulation through the night and reduce stress on the heart and brain. Another factor that many people never associate with cardiovascular risk is the temperature of the room where they sleep. Yet the environment around you during sleep directly influences how hard your heart must work. When a bedroom becomes too warm, the body struggles to release excess heat. Blood vessels expand in an effort to cool the body, heart rate increases, and fluid loss through perspiration rises. These changes place additional stress on the cardiovascular system and can interfere with stable blood pressure during sleep. Research conducted at Harvard found that sleeping in rooms with temperatures above approximately 24 degrees Celsius was associated with a higher incidence of nighttime cardiovascular stress. Extreme cold can also be dangerous. Cold temperatures cause blood vessels to constrict. When this happens, resistance inside the arteries increases. The heart must pump harder to push blood through narrowed vessels. For older adults whose arteries may already be stiff or narrowed, this additional strain can sometimes trigger serious cardiovascular events. European data has shown noticeable increases in nighttime heart attacks during cold weather periods, particularly among older adults. The safest bedroom temperature for most people tends to fall between about 18 and 22 degrees Celsius. Within this range, heart rate tends to remain stable, blood pressure regulation improves, and sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. Temperature control, therefore, is not simply a matter of comfort. It is an important element of cardiovascular protection during sleep. Now that we have discussed these 5 nighttime habits, it is helpful to look at a simple routine that can help protect your heart and brain each night. A heart-friendly evening begins with dinner. Ideally, the last meal of the day should occur earlier in the evening and remain relatively light. Meals built around lean proteins, vegetables, and easily digestible carbohydrates place far less strain on the body than heavy, high-fat meals eaten late at night. After dinner, it is helpful to drink a glass of water and take any prescribed medications exactly as directed by your physician. Later in the evening, choose calm and relaxing activities. Gentle walking, reading, or listening to quiet music allows the nervous system to gradually shift toward rest. Emotional stress and intense screen exposure can keep the brain overly stimulated and delay this transition. As bedtime approaches, prepare the sleep environment. Adjust the room temperature, dim the lights, and place a glass of water near the bed. Shortly before lying down, visit the bathroom and complete your nighttime hygiene routine. If medications are prescribed for bedtime, take them at the appropriate time. For those who snore heavily or suspect sleep apnea, sleeping on the side with proper neck support may help maintain more stable breathing during the night. If you wake during the night, move slowly when getting out of bed. Sit briefly before standing and take small sips of water if needed. Simple routines like these help stabilize blood pressure patterns and reduce cardiovascular strain during sleep. When we step back and look at the full picture, 5 habits stand out as particularly dangerous during the night: eating heavy meals late in the evening, skipping or mistiming medications, untreated sleep apnea, going to bed dehydrated, and sleeping in environments that are excessively hot or cold. Each one of these habits can place stress on the cardiovascular system. When several occur together, they can create the perfect conditions for nighttime heart attacks or strokes. The important truth is that many of these events are not inevitable. They are often preventable when people understand how their daily habits influence the body during sleep. If you are over the age of 50, the choices you make tonight can influence the health of your heart and brain for years to come. Small changes in routine can make a meaningful difference. Before you go, I encourage you to take a few simple steps. Consider subscribing to this channel if you want more clear, practical health guidance designed for adults over 50. If you found this information helpful, take a moment to like the video so that others who may be unaware of these risks can also see it. And if something you heard today made you reconsider your own nighttime routine, leave a comment saying, "I'm changing this tonight." Sometimes a simple commitment can inspire others to take better care of themselves as well. Finally, consider sharing this message with someone you care about. A partner, a parent, or a friend might benefit from understanding how important these small habits can be. Sleep should be a time when the body heals and restores itself. With the right habits, it can remain exactly that. This is Dr. William Collins, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.